Alright, and hello everybody, I'm the SweetBro27 and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. Now today we are going to be looking at all of the character details for the four most recent characters that have been revealed for the Golden Week celebration. So we have Angel SSJ3 Goku, his side banner unit, which is a base form Gotenks. We have, Majin Buu Good, and then his side banner unit, which is Majin Buu Pure Evil. So let's not waste any time because we have a lot of information that we gotta go over. So for Goku, his leader skill is Majin Buu Saga, Otherworld Warriors, or Accelerated Battle, 3 key, 170 stats, and then an additional 30% attack and defense to Kamehameha and Time Limit. So, the thing is with this guy's leader skill, this is a dead category right now, this is a dead category right now, this is a very decent category, okay? But, I am going to assume that Majin Buu Saga is going to get the same level of treatment as Special Pose. So, I'm hoping we're going to get a lot of sub-EZAs, we're going to get a super EZA, we're going to get, like the Part 2 LR, like I'm hoping that the Part 2 LR is going to be like a Ginyu level support or something along those lines, which is good. Otherworld Warriors doesn't have a 200%, so that's very good. That means characters like Pikkon, who could theoretically get an EZA this year, he's not on the full 200%, but like that's just another character that's going to get help. And then having high speed battle or accelerated battle, which is super good because again a lot of characters have that. Overall his 170s I would say are very good. But having time limit and Kamehameha kind of limits some of the characters that are on his list. So let's go ahead and kind of look down here. Like, these two are, like, barely viable at this point. I mean, they're extreme risks if you do run them. This is, like, a top 3 to top 5 character in the game. This guy will probably be EZAing, so I am pretty excited to see that. Let's see. You're a top 10 in the game, top 10 in the game, top 10 in the game. You are a very good floater. Let's see. Obviously, this is going to be, like, one of his best linking partners. He does have God Goku, who is still very incredible to this day. This guy is technically within the range of an EZA, as are you, but if none of them would really EZA during this celebration, but that is just something that means that you could get a boost later on. He does have Kefla and Gotenks. Those are the two best EZAs that we have on Global as of right now. That won't last for very long once we get the Buu Tanks and the Vegito, but that is just something that we have out there. As well as this guy, I feel like he's almost assuredly going to be EZAing, and I'm super excited to see. I hope he's on the same power level or above as these two. You could get a sub-EZA, you're going to be EZAing almost 100%. I'm not a huge fan of this character, but like he's on the team, that's more Majin Buu Saga category support. And then in terms of super EZAs, I think it could be one of these two, or this Buhan right here. Because we did recently just get this guy, or I guess JP did, but having one of these three could theoretically be very beneficial, because again, that's just more Majin Buu Saga category characters, and the Super EZAs have really been blowing me away, so I would be all for it if we got another one, and if it's just as powerful as the other two, like, again, that's game is game, dude. So, let's look at his super attack effect real quick. It is the Instant Transmission Meteor Crush, which greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy, and then a high chance of stunning. The stun is good. There are 2 events that I can think of off the top of my head right now, which is Cell Max once he gets below a third of his HP, and the Red Zone Movie Boss Rush. You're able to stun up until you get to Janemba. So like Broly, you're not able to stun, but I'm pretty sure you can stun everybody else. So that is good. He does have versatility there. What type is he actually? He is AGL. Okay, so that means maybe running the Super EZA Dragon Fist might be a bit risky if you're going up against a tech enemy, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright. For his actives, or his passive skill, excuse me, he has an entrance animation, which gives him 50% chance to crit for 5 turns from his first appearance, and he gets 90% damage reduction, but he loses 15% damage reduction, no more than 90, each turn with another Majin Buu Saga category ally on the team. He gets 2 key and 150% stats at the start of turn. He gets an additional 150% attack and defense when performing a super attack. He gets an extra 5% damage reduction for each super attack that he performs up to 30%. He has a 30% chance to crit. He launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of being a super. When there's another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking within the same turn, he gets an additional 100% defense and guards all attacks as the first attacker on the turn, or he gets 100% attack and launches a guaranteed additional super attack as the second or third attacker on a turn. He has a high chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks directed at this character, and then he counters with tremendous power. So he does a lot, so let's kind of break this down right here. So this is like the most divisive part of his passive. He has the 90% damage reduction, but he loses 15 each turn, all the way down to 0. So Golden Frieza had this ability a few years ago, where he started off with 90, he lost 15, but he stopped at 30. So at the very bare minimum, Golden Frieza has 30% damage reduction. Now, I know this guy can get upwards to 30% damage reduction, but that is a little bit scary. Because right now, outside of Cell Max, most of the, I guess, if you want to count Fusion, Zamasu, Red Zone, most of the events, they are difficult on turn 7, 8, 9, 10 even, sometimes. Not really turns 1, 3, 5, you know? Because turn 1, you have 90% damage reduction and guard, we need to keep that in mind. Then turn 2, you have 60% damage reduction, then you have 30, and then you have 0. So you have to be specifically getting super attacks as well to get 5% damage reduction for each. I mean, he is going to be pretty much untouchable, because let's say on turn 5, theoretically, you could have 60% damage reduction still, because you could have done your 6 attacks by them, as well as you were having your guard. Once all that wears away, though, you have a character who can go into slot 1 with 30% damage reduction, guard, an extra 100% defense, a very high chance to crit still. They have the 30% here, and I guess there's a theoretical chance you still have this. They're getting a lot of stats from their super. They are launching 1 guaranteed additional normal, or they're launching a guaranteed attack, which has a 70% chance of being a super. But if that becomes a normal, like, that's going to be problematic. This guy is going to need a lot of additional put into his passive, because if you just get normal, I know it's not super common for that to happen. It's only 30% of the time. But 30% of the time, you're going to be missing out on getting damage reduction, and that's like this character's main defensive ability. Because he does get 50%, as we saw here, on his super attack effect, which is crucial, especially if you are missing out on this. Because 30% damage reduction isn't my favorite. It's less than a Whis. That's an Icarus item, essentially. But having guard and the 100%, after he super attacks, I can't imagine he would take a lot of damage from any big boss supers, especially if it's like a double super. Like, I could see this guy, 30% damage reduction, guard. It depends on how many links he has activated as well, how much support he has. But I could see him living, like, the Gogeta, Red Zone Gogeta super attack. Would it do a lot of damage? Oh, 100%. Like, have you seen, like, I've seen the Big Bang attack Vegeta take damage after stacking for a majority of the fight. I've seen him take damage, and that guy... He has, what is it? He has guard, 18%, yeah, 18% damage reduction, guard, and all that other good stuff, plus he stacks. So, it could be a little bit dicey for this character. So, I do wish he kept a little bit of it. I don't think it would have been too broken if he kept just 15% damage reduction. That way, he could have 45% damage reduction, guard, and that extra stuff. I've seen some other people saying that it is a bit of a problem that he does specifically need Majin Buu Saga category allies on the team. Excuse me, just took a sip of my water there. I don't necessarily think that's a big deal, because again, I'm going into this thinking that Majin Buu Saga is going to get the special pose treatment. So we're already knowing that right now in JP they have Vegito and Buhan. Global, we're about to get them in just a few days. Those two right there, they're incredible. They're super powerful. We have the Int Gotenks who just came there. We have these other 3 units who we haven't even talked about. They are all very good in their own right. I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Plus, then we also have the speculation of other EZAs like Tech Majin Vegeta, and SSG3 Angel Goku. I think Tech Ultimate Gohan could theoretically EZA. We could get some Super Strikes. There's a lot of things that could be done. Plus, we're still getting a Part 2 LR. I don't think that's going to be very much of a problem. It might be a problem in like 6 months or something if we get like another power shift, which I doubt, but it's technically possible. But I really don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, they do specifically have to be on the turn. So, if you're just running this guy as your leader, just run 2 other Majin Buu Saga category allies, like Vegito and, again, let's say Tech Ultimate Gohan. And just have those be your dedicated slot 2 units, and then you can have Dragon Fist. You can have literally any other character on his leader skill, Kefla, Int Gotenks, who is also on the category. You could, who was a character? MUI, you could run MUI. A lot of options. I don't think it's too much of an ask, or your floaters could be Majin Buu Saga if you wanted to keep MUI on the rotation. He's flexible. To say the very least, he's flexible. Because if you could have just your 3 floaters, he can go into slot 1. Again, I think he should be fine, especially since he does also have the 50% chance to beam nullify. I hate that it's always a 50% chance. Like, why? Can we not get like a 70 or something? Like, that would be nice. That would be nice, especially since it's a counter. That's just extra chip damage. That would be pretty good. But yeah, I'm a little bit more soured on this character, because when I was first reading the kits, I was very taken aback by this character. Rereading it and having like sat on it for a little while, I do realize that he does potentially have some flaws. Again, 30%. I don't think he's going to be more tanky than the Vegeta that just dropped during Sand Day. I think Vegeta's probably going to still be better than this guy in most situations. We shall see. We shall see. Now, before we move on to his sidebar unit, he does also have an active skill, which is the full power Kamehameha. This is why he's actually on the Kamehameha category, which can be performed with another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking within the same turn from turn 4 onward. Massively temporarily raise attack, cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and then he gets guaranteed crit for within the turn. So you can do this turn 4, meaning if you do it early enough, you would still have your 50% chance to crit, your 30% chance to crit. So you have 2 separate chances to crit, plus if you want to put any instead of potential system. Don't give this guy crit, by the way. He needs additional and dodges. Primarily, I would say focus more so on additional rather than dodge. That way you guarantee get this. But you could have a really high chance to crit, then you're guaranteed critting for the rest of the turn. Plus, that would give him 5% damage reduction. Because this counts as a super attack. So, let's say you had 25% damage reduction, boom, now you got 30. And now he's fully built up. I do like this character. He's on a lot of categories as well. Majin Buu Saga, Otherworld Warriors, Accelerated Batter, Kamehameha, Time Limit, Resurrected Warriors, SSJ3, Pure Sand, Goku Family, Turtle School, Master of Evolution, Bond of Friendship, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Bond of Parent Child, Earthbreak Fighters. And then his link set, Golden Warriors, Super Saiyan, the Saiyan Lineage, Over to Flash, Limit Break and Form, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle. He's going to link well primarily with other SSJ3s, Over to Flash and Limit Break and Form. But he does just have like a generic Super Saiyan link, like Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan. He's going to link well with other Superclass characters. So yeah. I think if you summon for this guy, you're not going to be inherently crazy. Maybe for like global players, I would maybe advise against it. Just because, again, Beast Gohan is right around the horizon. Broly's right around the horizon. I think this guy is like in argument for being top 10 material. I think this and the Majin Buu are both within that range. But I do think that there is a very big difference between what this character is doing and what Beast is doing. I do. Like, after sitting on it, I do think that. But you never know, because this category, again, if it gets the same treatment as Special Pose, I may switch my tune up a little bit. But enough of talking about Goku, let's talk about his side banner unit, which is this Gotenks right here, who is Hybrid Sans, 3 key, 130 to stats. That doesn't really matter, you're not going to run this guy as a leader. His super attack effect is the Victory Cannon, which massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn and then supreme damage. That's huge, alright? That's a lot, especially on a side banner unit, that's a lot. So his passive, he gets 177% attack and defense at the start of turn, and then he has a great chance, 70% chance of getting 7 ki. That's a unique little ability. Okay. He gets an additional 77% attack and defense when performing a super attack. He launched an additional attack that has a 70% chance of being a super. He has a great chance of evading enemy attacks for 7 turns from the character's entry turn, and then it becomes a high chance from his 8th turn. He gets an additional 77% attack and defense as the second attacker or third attacker in a turn. He gets an additional 20% attack and defense up to 77% with each attack evaded, including super attacks, and then a chance to crit plus 20% up to 77% with each super attack performed. So he's just a weaker MUI. As a side banner unit, that's pretty good. I would have maybe liked to have seen some support, but I mean, he's a 70% chance to dodge character who's going to have like really high stats. Like, with this crit as well, plus he's massively raising attack and defense, he's going to be doing, like, decent damage. I mean, is anyone going to be like, oh my god, he's going to be... Like, no. But is he going to actually put, like, up some damage? Yes. Especially since he has a 70% chance to launch an additional. I mean, he could theoretically get an extra 200% attack and defense each turn. Plus, he's critting. Plus... Yeah, no, actually, he's pretty good. And he's getting a lot of stats in different places. The only thing that may be a little bit weird is if you don't get the key, because Over to Flashes, that's 3 key, Shocking Speed is 2 key. Oh wait, no, never mind. You don't really need this. I don't know why they gave him that then. He has key links. Okay. I was thinking maybe they would have given him like not key link, but no, he literally has Over to Flash and Shocking Speed. Okay. Yeah, no, this Gotenks is actually like really freaking good. What the hell? This is also a Topo buff. Topo. I know that we did just get, like, the Int Gotenks or whatever, but, like, they only share the same name on turn 1 and turn 2. Outside of that, everything else is fine, so that's really not going to cause any issues, I wouldn't imagine. Or at least, hopefully, it shouldn't. I mean, that would be really weird if this guy got full to turn 1. But, yeah. Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. Alright, very, very good. Very good. This guy also gets a stamp of approval. There's not really much to say about him. It's just like, yeah, he's good. He dodges. 70%, he's going to get a lot of stats, he's going to be doing decent damage. Definitely you want him in slot 2 or 3. I mean, I guess you could put him into slot 1, just because 70% chance. Losing this, though, deeper in the fight does kind of suck. Both of the superclass characters get a little bit worse as the fight goes on. but like they're going to be early event killers. So this makes me wonder, are we going to get more short form content? Because the entirety of the 9th anniversary is like long event, long event, long event. There's not really like a single short one, whereas like the worldwide download celebration with like the Future Saga was like Rose, like that was a short fight. Fusion Zamasu was a short fight. You were normally beating that on like turn 5, turn 6. So I wonder if like once we get like Red Zone, Bobity's Army or whatever. Well, no, that's a bad example. If we get like Red Zone Fat Boo, like will Fat Boo only be like one quick fight, but he does like a shit ton of damage at the start? Actually, that's kind of what this is making me think. Like, I feel like this guy might be targeted towards like the new difficult content. Because like, imagine if Fat Boo or Super Boo or Kid Boo, whoever is going to be the hardest event in the game now, turn 1 launches like a 6 million super attack. No character is going to live that except for a character like this. Now, that would be crazy, but it would be a completely different way to play the game, and that would give more characters viability. See, I like it when they do stuff like that, when they have events where it's like different characters fulfill different niches. The reason why I think so many people hated the Fusion Zamasu event so much is because, yes, it didn't necessarily power creep a lot of the teams, but so many teams that we had gotten throughout the entire year were built around long events. Like the GT duo, the DBZ duo, they both build up, they want to be in the fight as long as possible, whereas like Fusion Zamasu, yeah, he likes short fights. The AGL Vegito, they like short fights. So, I feel like we could potentially just get more difficult content that just targets different characters, and I mean, I'm all for that. Not every single event needs to be designed the exact same, because that's when they get boring. Because that's like, people during the Worldwide Download Celebration, First Form Cell, the Rose fight, and the Zamasu fight, not the Fusion Zamasu, just like the normal one. Those are essentially, we essentially got the same red zone 3 times. They were all just really powerful 1 to 2 phase fights that really didn't do anything special. So I think people would maybe be accepted to it if it was done well. I don't want any cheapness like AoEs or whatever, but you never know. You never know what Amatsu could be cooking. But enough of the superclass guys. Let's talk about Boo. Now, Boo is who I'm very excited about, okay? Very, very, very excited about. So Boo leads Majin Buu Saga, Sword Enemies, or Storage Figures 3 key, 170 stats, and then an additional 30% to Resurrected Warriors and Worldwide Chaos. So we have his leader skill up here. Again, I'm assuming this is going to get the special post treatment. This isn't really a problem. Sworn Enemies, I mean, that's going to be your Friezas, your Cells, Boos, DKPs. This is like a very good all-encompassing villain link. This is like from like the main sagas or whatever. And then story figures, I mean, it's a little bit interesting that they gave him this, but like that has like Tapion and Minosha, that has like Bardock, like the Dragon Ball special characters, I guess. As well as characters who are like really old, aka like the Boos or whatever. And then Resurrected Warriors and Global Chaos, or Worldwide Chaos, I guess. I feel like these mostly fit this category. I mean, Global Chaos, yeah, that's how you're going to get, like, Super Boos on this, but, like, Sworn Enemies, that's how you're going to get, like, DKP, and stuff like that. But let's look, because, unfortunately, he doesn't have nearly as many top-tier options at the moment as Goku. Like, this guy, he's passable, I guess. You've fallen off. I still think you're going to Easy A top 10. With an Easy A, you would be very good. This is still, like, probably one of the best TURs in the game. I did not get him, however. But, like, no. I mean, Truth made it work, so I guess you could, too. Again, you're in realms of an Easy A, but, like, not during this celebration. You're within realms of an Easy A, not during this celebration. I actually found it quite funny that you were on this 200% and not on Goku's. But I think you could Easy A, and again, if all they did was give this guy extra stats and kept his passive exactly the same, he would still be a relevant unit in today's meta, and that's the funniest thing that could happen. This guy has to Easy A. This would be like a top tier god, especially again if he's like Gotenks level. These two are 100% going to Easy A, and I imagine they would both be very good. This is not on Global, this is on JP, but this is like one of the best free-to-play characters in the game, like history. So I'm excited once we get this World Tournament, because Mr. Boo can cook. He's like a Rainbow Orb Changer, massive amount of damage reduction and support, and you love to see it. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this character, but he's on the team. This character could get a sub Easy A. I wouldn't be opposed to that. And then there's one big character down here who could get a super Easy A. Yes, right here. If this guy got a super Easy A, this is Majin Buu Saga is going to be one of the best categories in the game. 100%. 100%, not a hesitation in my mind. I guess you could also super Easy A this one, but I feel like most people would really, really, really be excited about this. I mean, people were using this and like all the way up until like the cooler meta. Like people were running this guy against the Metal Cooler core. And we're just hiding him and doing whatever they could. Like, that's something that can actually be done. So, please, 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 please. If we're getting a super Easy, I would love it to be this guy. I'd be so happy. I don't even have him, and I would be happy. I would gladly spend the, like, what, 150 red coins stat him to my box. That's not a big deal. Now, Boo's super attack effect, let's see here. He stacks defense, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, and causes immense damage to the enemy, and that's his Kamehameha. His passive skill. So he has an entrance animation. He recovers 10% HP at the start of every attacking turn for the rest of battle. Plus, he recovers an extra 10% for the first 5 turns from this character's entry turn, when there's another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking on the team. He gets 2 ki and 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets an additional 150% attack and defense when performing a super attack. He launches a guaranteed additional that has a 70% chance being a super attack. He guards all attacks when HP is 50% or more at the start of turn. He recovers 10% HP at the end of the turn, and if HP is 30% or less at the end of the turn, he heals an additional 10%. He revives with full HP when this character is knocked out. And then once he gets revived, he survives KO attacks once within a turn. He gets an additional 100% attack and defense, guaranteed guard, and launches a guaranteed additional super attack when this character revives or another character revives. And then he recovers with the cookies, candies, the sweets, or whatever. This guy is actually insane. Now, I'm not a huge fan of just having guard being your only defensive mechanic, but he is also stacking. So potentially at like the start of a fight, this guy could take some damage, because just again, like look at a character like God Goku. God Goku has guard or whatever, but at the start of these fights, before he super attacks, he's taking a lot of damage, and then throughout the rest of the fight, you kind of have to keep up that guard or whatever. Bird Ku's the very same way. Bird Ku is a character who has guaranteed guard after he gets hit above a certain HP threshold or whatever, but he can get cooked at the start until you get some of his stacks going. But like that doesn't matter with this character. He's healing 20% HP for the first 5 turns. After that, he's healing 10% at the start of each of his turns. He's healing 10% at the end of the turn, 20% if he's below 30. And the reason they do that is so if you're at 30% HP, boom, you're at 50, meaning your other Majin Buu is going to guard. But if you're slightly below that threshold and you die, now you have 2 God... Like, this guy is like a better 23rd World Tournament Goku. He's actually insane. He's so insane. Because then once you have the guaranteed guard, you're getting an extra 100 to stats. You survive a KO attack once within a turn. So if there's a big boss super, like we get a boss that does a countdown super in slot 3 and it's 8 million or something that's completely unlivable, boom, pop this guy into slot 3. After that, you survive the attack with 1% or with 1 HP, you heal 20% at the start of the turn, and then boom, you have your other Buu who's healing at the start of the turn as well. He's already in God mode, he has the guaranteed card, he doesn't even have to worry about it. That's like literally insane. They gave this guy so much. And like, it doesn't matter if you take damage because all of the characters heal. STR Buu, if you run him, he heals. Physical EZA Buu tanks, guess what? He heals. Like, you're going to be able to go from like 2%, like literally 1% HP to theoretically you could get like to a full HP, like all the way back. I'm so serious. With the amount of healing, they have healing links. There's so many different like unique little things that you can do. This is going to be probably the best TUR in the game. I'm going to say this right now. I want to see them. Obviously I can't say for sure. Leader skill, he doesn't have the best leader skill. That's for sure. And I don't think as of right now he has like a very good team. I guess Majin Buu Saga again, but like sworn enemies and storied figures, they need a little bit of help. But looking past that, like again, even if you just ran this guy on a pure Majin Buu Saga team, he is going to destroy. I think reading his kit, he might be better than the Vegeta. I think right now, if you put me on the spot, I would say it is Buu, Vegeta, Toppo, SSJ3 Goku. I think that would be where I would put the best TURs right now, not including EZAs or anything, because those fulfill slightly different roles. But we all know how much we all love 23rd World Tournament Goku. In 23rd World Tournament Goku, I mean, he had risk. If you didn't have your guard up, like, he could get you frauded. You are going to know in advance every single turn if you have guard or not. Are you above 50% HP? It's never going to be a question. Never. You will always know when you're guarding. Your God mode is almost just as good, if not better, because you get an extra survivability ability. That makes me think, again, we are probably going to get a boss who has, like, a countdown, who does, like, an unlivable amount of damage that you need this revive for. I wouldn't be surprised. But getting another guaranteed additional super, that means you're just getting another stack. You're getting even more stats. You're doing just an insane amount of stuff. Now we actually have a good villain revive as well. I've been saying for so long that you need to kind of run Int Cell or put some respect on Int Cell's name, because he's like a pseudo revive for villain characters, where now, like, boom, we genuinely have like a good revive. It's not like Omega where you revive with one Omega and then the other one sucks. No, this guy is insane. He is so insane. He is so good. They cooked. I think if you are going to summon, you summon for this guy for 2 reasons. One, I think he's just outright better. And then 2, if you are a global player and you haven't heard the horrors of the artificial lifeform mission against Beast Gohan, look at Truth's videos called The Suffering. They're all funny as hell. That was one of my favorite things that he did during the 9th anniversary. I really appreciated all that content. But check those out, because that mission, even with items, is difficult. This guy is going to be like a huge buff to get you through that. And if all of that wasn't enough, he also has an active skill, which is the Candy Beam, which can be activated after this character revives, or from turn 7, from the start of battle. Massively temporarily raise attack, ultimate damage to an enemy, you get an attack break, change all key spheres to cookies for 1 turn, and then he gets 12 key. So, if you don't know, like, you look at the old Dokkan events, like, there was a burst mode for one of these. I think it's a story event, actually, where you get Candy Vegito. Like, the enemy could turn the key spheres into candy, and candy just doesn't give you key. It would, like, make it hard for you to do a super attack. But this character, as you can see right here, recovers HP with Sweet Treats, turns the whole field into cookies, which is Sweet Treats. You're basically getting 12 keys, so you're guaranteed super attacking this turn. You're doing a ton of damage. You're getting an attack break and a full heal. Or I would assume it's a full heal, or close to it. This guy's broken. 100%. 100%. Because turn 7, like, I feel like probably by the time turn 7 comes around, you would have already revived. But you never know. It's always nice to have more than one ability. Like, his active skill is better. I would much rather wait for turn 7 and then potentially running the Goku. And I mean, I don't think the Goku having a Majin Buu Saga category restriction is a bad thing until, like, we get, like, another leap in difficulty and then the rest of Majin Buu Saga kind of sucks. That would be unfortunate. This guy, you're going to be able to pop it whatever. Although I don't really think that's a big deal. I think some people are being a little bit too harsh on what they're saying about the Goku. Because, again, I'm really hoping and praying. If we don't get, like, the special post treatment, I might be a little bit sad, but I think we should. This guy is amazing. His links are, well, he has a very good villain link set to link with, like, other Majin Buus. Majin, the Innocence, Infinite Regeneration, the Wall Standing Tall, Fierce Battle, Revival, and Kamehameha. No big bad bosses, but I don't think any, like, this Buu has big bad bosses, so I mean, that sucks, but it's okay. He's going to be able to help villain teams just without even needing big bad bosses, just because just the amount of HP recovery is insane. Cannot be understated, underrated, anything like that. And then he's on a lot of categories as well. Majin Buu Saga, Sworn Enemies, Storied Figures, Worldwide Chaos, Resurrected Warriors, Transformation Boost, Time Traveler, Artificial Lifeform, Kamehameha, Majin Power, Power Absorption, Gifted Warriors, Legendary Existence, Powerful Comeback. Powerful Comeback is about to actually be like an insane team. I'm so serious. Once we start getting all these characters who, like, once one character revives, the rest of the team gets powerful. We have MUI, we have 23rd World Tournament Goku, we have Evolution Blue Vegeta, we now have this character. If we get 2 more, it doesn't even really matter that they don't link super well together. And I know 23rd World Tournament Goku, I say this all the time, he has, like, really fallen off, because just having guard with a million defense, I know that's insane to say, but just having guard with a million defense isn't as impressive as it used to be. But if we could have a full team with just one revive, the rest of the team becomes, like, untouchable. I want to see that in my game. Amatsu, do your thing. But to wrap up this portion of the video, we have Majin Buu Pure Evil, who is Majin Power 3 key and 130 stats. Again, you're not going to be running him as a leader. His super attack effect is massively raise attack for 4 turns and supreme damage to the enemy. Wow, okay. So, he gets 1 key, 40% attack and defense, and chance to perform a crit and a chance to dodge, plus 10% per Majin Power category ally on the team. And if all allies are Majin Power, launch an additional super attack, and all attacks become crits. So if you run him with 7, that's a 70% chance to dodge, guaranteed crit, launching an additional super with massively raising attack for 4 turns. Majin Power. Both the Boos, this guy, STR Super Buu, Fizz Buuhan, Transforming Buu, I guess, and then Kid Buu. I mean, you could do that. Or even if you didn't do that, even if you just had a couple of substitution, he could still be a 50% chance to dodge, 50% chance to crit. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Okay, that's actually a pretty good little start to his passive, not gonna lie. He gets an additional 60% attack and defense when performing a super attack. Okay, so he doesn't get start of turn stats. That sucks. Okay. Plus an additional 60% attack if HP is 60% or more when attacking. Recovers 5% HP at the start of turn. Recovers 5% HP when HP is 80% or less at the start of turn. And recovers 10% HP when HP is 40% or less at the start of turn. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this team just heals a bunch. He survives KO attacks once within a turn. When HP is 40% or more, he has a high chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks directed at this character and countering with tremendous power, recovers with sweet treats. Okay, so this character is giving me very much dodge or die vibes. Because he's getting 40 here. And then 60. So he's only going to have 100 at the start of turn. So yeah, he is 100% dodge or die. Now, granted, he's going to be healing a lot. He does have a counter as well. He has a beam nullification counter. He's healing a lot as well. But dude, like, if this guy gets tagged by like a normal, because he doesn't get any defense on his super. Now, he's actually going to be doing damage. I will say that. If you have like this full thing up, 70% chance to dodge, 100% chance to crit, launching 2 attacks, each of which you're raising your attack by 100% for 4 turns. Like, yeah, he's going to be doing some serious wicked damage, and he's going to be doing like some nice healing support. Why didn't they give either sideband unit like Majin? Like, why couldn't he give Majin Power category allies like 30% defense or something? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, because only having 100 defense is crazy, dude. I mean, he's getting attack if he has enough HP, and he's healing a lot if you're under a certain HP threshold. So, yeah, because it's not even like Yajirobe, because Yajirobe, he would get hit once, and then he would have an extra chance to dodge, because he also survived KO attacks. But again, Yajirobe's also supporting. This guy is just there, essentially. Because this team is already going to be having a lot of healing support. Like, both of the sidebanner units are 70% chance to dodge characters, but I'm way more confident with Gotenks, because Gotenks, he's raising his defense on super by 100%. I could see him eating a normal or 2 and us being fine. I think any modern content, a normal might just like actually outright kill this character, even if you're at full HP. I mean, I know he would survive it, but still. Actually, no, he wouldn't. What is it? Oh, wait, when HP is 40% or more. Okay, yes, he would. I thought it was or lower. No. Okay. He also recovers HP with sweet treats. I mean, he's not bad, but he's not necessarily great either. I would have liked something else. Because, like, even, like, MUI Goku, like, right now, he could eat, like, a normal. And, like, the Fusions Masu Red Zone, I mean, he eats, like, 339,000 damage, but he can eat 1. I guess we'll have to see how much damage this guy takes from normals. But, this is an easy full dodge build. 100%. Because you don't... Man, they couldn't even give him just, like, 30 or anything. And it's only doing supreme damage, too. So I don't actually know how much... I mean, he's going to be doing damage. Guaranteed critting and stuff. Alright, and then, let's see. What are his... Whoops. Majin, Brutal Beatdown, that's an attack link. Kamehameha, Infinite Regeneration, Nightmare, While Standing Tall, Fierce Battle. Why are you on Kamehameha? Oh, because you... Okay, you do launch the Kamehameha. Okay. And then Majin Power, Majin Buu Saga, Transformation Boost, Artificial Life Form, Kamehameha, Power Absorption, Sworn Enemies, and Worldwide Chaos. So they're all good to an extent. I would say that this is probably like the most questionable character, but I don't know. I feel like Boo can make it work, man. It's worth it for Boo. Actually, I mean, you could use him to get the Boo revive pretty easily. Put him in just in slot 3 or something. Because you don't really need to keep him on main rotation by any means. Because this guy doesn't like actually need a Majin Buu Saga category ally anywhere in his passive. Outside of, like, the intro. So that you can float anyone you want. You can run any character you want. You can run Hirudegarn next to this guy. You can do pretty much whatever you want. I wonder if that was intentional. Put him into slot 3. Oh, it probably was. Put him into slot 3. He gets hit. Or if you put him there at slot 3, if he survives, cool. You can enter the next turn, you heal a bunch. But if he loses all that, you enter the next attacking turn. Then you revive. I can respect that. Again, giving this guy some support would have been nice, or giving this guy a little bit of support would have been nice as well. As it stands, they're both just dodging units, but hey man, I love my dodge. I ain't gonna complain too terribly much. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all for this time, guys. So, time will only tell. We'll look at the banners, and if I summon, I will actually, I'll make a disclaimer of this at the start. But if I do actually decide to summon, there will be summons here, or if not, just ignore me and we'll do something, whatever. But if you're going to summon for Boo. Boo will help global players way more, which kind of hurts my soul because this guy's so swaggy, but I would have much rather... I prefer what they did. Give the villain the better buff. I wish he was STR, though, because we still don't have a good STR unit. That's extreme, but I can bitch about that another day. They cooked with him. But yeah, that is going to potentially be all for this time, guys. I've been the SweetBro27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an upcoming YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, a TikTok, and a YouTube, the links of which can all be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment, positive, negative, or indifferent. I would love just any sort of interaction I can get from you guys. But yeah, that's going to be all for now. So as always, I've been the SweetBro27, and I am signing off.